What is going on? I should have found for here with exciting for today. And today we're talking about upsets that have a college football in week 13. So let's get started with TC, with LSU and Texas A&M Aggies. For this game, LSU was ranked fifth, and also not fifth in the college polls, and they needed this win to keep their hopes alive in the college playoff bracket playoffs. Sadly, they lost to Texas A&M 38-23. That dropped them 6 spots, and they'll be mostly be out for good in the college football playoffs. They will play Georgia for the title game for the SEC, but if they win that game, I don't think it's enough for them to get there enough for to get to the top four and then play for the title. So let's head talk about the stats. So two of them quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels, 21 for 35, 189, no touchdowns, no interceptions. The running game, Jaden Daniels, 84 yards, 12 carries, 7 yards per carry, no touchdowns. But John Ambry Jr., even though he only had 55 yards on the ground, he still managed to get 3 touchdowns. Malik Neighbors led the way with 69 receiving yards, followed by Bushute with 43, followed by King with 25, followed by Beck by 15, Emery Jr. for 11, David Jenkins, Taylor for 10, Lacey for 8, and Thomas Hill for 5. Now let's look at the Texas A&M side. Trevor 18, Connor Ringham, 155 yards, 2 touchdowns. The running game looks like a very good running game for them. 215 yards on 38 carries, with 2 touchdowns with 5.7 yards per carry. And Muhammad III with 94 yards with a receiving touchdown, and Devon Green with another receiving touchdown. As Texas A&M went out to win 38-23. Do I think it's the upset of the week? It's up there. Now let's go on and talk about this next game. UNC and NC State Wolfpack. A very good game. Even though Kentucky lose 30-27, they got upset prior to this game. North Carolina was ranked 17. They lost at double overtime to NC State. I believe both are ACC teams, but NC State was too much for them. As Ben Finley would throw 27 for 40, 271 yards, 2 touchdowns. Michael Allen. NC State had trouble running the football, but that was okay. As Sir Robert Stevens was able to get open. But now let's talk about North Carolina. North Carolina, Drake May, 29 for 49, 20-33, a touchdown and an interception. The running game was Elijah Green, 24 for 83, with 3.5 yards per carry and a touchdown. Drake May also got a touchdown as well. Antonio Green got the only receiving touchdown of the game for North Carolina. No, NC State. My bad, NC State. Drake May got the rushing touchdown, and Antonio Green was the only one who got the receiving touchdown. And NC State, 27 for 40, 2071, 2 touchdowns. Their running game struggled a little bit, but the receiving game did not, as they were finally a win to win against North Carolina, 30-27. It feels like these ACC teams is slowly learning how to win, especially close games. And also, like, if you really look at like when North Carolina, Kentucky were not like, I mean, they were decent at football, but like now they're like good. They're getting better, but they're getting better each year. As Kentucky obviously played for the SEC, North Carolina, and also NC State Wolfpack plays for the ACC. And it's going to be North Carolina and Clemson for the title game. Which would be a good one, hopefully. As ACC went on the win 30-27. Now, Ole Miss and Mississippi State, another good game. Ole Miss was ranked 20 in the country. Now they drop out of the top 25 in general. Mississippi State Bulldogs finally win the game to the top 25 as they win 24-22. It was a heck of a game. Will Rogers, Mississippi State 27 for 39, 239 yards, a 2 touch and interception. The running game, Jacarius Marks, 14 carries, 76 yards, 5.4 yards per carry, and a touchdown. Dylan Johnson, Wally, Harvey, help find other guys find a way to get open as he used multiple wide receivers to help them to upset Ole Miss. But now look at Ole Miss. Jackson Dart, 30 for 38, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. Their running game, they really didn't win to the running game as Jenkins went 91 yards and 22 carries. No touchdowns though, but they used also different wide receivers, 2 receivers to help as well, but they fell short to Mississippi State and fell the top 25, 24-22. Now let's look at Oregon and Oregon State. Another good game. Remember this. The score it was 31-17 in a 3, right? They went on a 21-3 run to come like a big old gun. The final score of this game was 38-34. Part of this game, Oregon was ranked 9th, while Oregon State was ranked 21. They gained 5 spots, and they dropped 6 spots. And yeah, Oregon should have won this game. They also blew their chance or have a chance trying to sneak in to the 5th and 6th spot, but not enough. They lost. If they would have won, I think they would probably made it to at least to the top 6, but like I said, they dropped 6 spots and they are now ranked 15th. Okay, now let's look at Bo Nix. Bo Nix, 27-30 for 41, 327 yards, 2 touches. Trey did everything that he can to help Oregon win to have a chance to make it the college playoffs. Noah Winnington, 60 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown. Along with Jordan James, 26 yards on 9 carries, 2.9 in the average, and a touchdown. Not that very good with Jordan James. 2.9 is not that great in college, but he also had a touchdown for his troubles. Chase Cota, 136 yards, 9 receptions, 50.1 yards per reception, and a touchdown. Troy Franklin, 8 receptions, that's 78 yards, 9.8, and a touchdown as well. And now Oregon State. Ben Gulbranson, 6 for 13, 60 yards, 2 interceptions he's thrown. And okay, how did Oregon State come back and win this game? Well, Martinez, 103 yards, no touchdowns. 75 yards for Griffin, no touchdowns. 53 yards for Fenwick, 1 touchdown. Newell, 21 yards and 2 touchdowns. Gubitson, 2 touchdowns. And that's the reason why. even though the running game was not that very efficient, but they still tackled the running game. They did have to put that broke 100 yards. Martinez, Greenwood started 5 yards, but they used other guys, other players to use the running game to beat Olga because the passing game wasn't working out for them. You know, if that doesn't work, let's throw the football. And guess what? They did, and they win 38-34 the final as they were trailing. Remember this, they were trailing 31-17 in the 3 quarters. Usually, with teams down by 2 scores by 14 points or more in a 3, tend to lose this game. But that was not this case. And the Oklahoma State Beavers win 38-34. They will gain 5 spots. Oregon Ducks will lose 6 spots in the loss. Now, let's look at this game. Clemson and South Carolina. South Carolina came back and beat Clemson 31-30. Another team, Clemson, another team that blew their shot on making it into the top 4. Clemson was ranked 8th. South Carolina was ranked unranked. Now they're ranked 20th, while Clemson dropped 2 spots to rank 10. And they would have won this game. They're going to probably be a team that will threat to get in, but another team that lost. Remember this. At half, it was 23-14. It was 33-28. Right. No, wait. Sorry. 30-20 and a 3 Clemson, but South Carolina only needed 3 points to win. They got that in the 4th quarter. Final score 31-30 as Spencer Rattler for North South Carolina, 25-39, 360 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The running game did not did well. It was a passing game that they went to the attack, and they beat Terrell Rose Jr. Got 2 receiving touchdowns, 121 yards, 14.6 per reception on average. Now receptions as they beat on Clemson, and then their defense had trouble getting to the quarterback. I only got 1 sack, I believe, in the whole entire game. And yeah, well, let's look at Clemson stats. Clemson struggle in the air. 8-29, 99 yards, 1 touch, 1 interception. But the running game mattered. Will Shipley, 50 carries, 132 yards, 8.8 the average, a touchdown. The quarterback got a touchdown as well. And the running game, well, the passing game did not work well. That's the reason why they lost. Final score, South Carolina 31, Clemson 30. And South Carolina is now ranked, and they should get a better bowl game now since they beat Clemson. Now, I think this is probably the upset of the week. Remember, this team was favored to win by 8 points, and they got blown out. That game is Ohio State and Michigan. Michigan, 45, Ohio State 23. Ohio State just got obliterated in the second half as the halftime score was 20-17. Ohio State. Okay, like the last time Michigan beat Ohio State in Columbus was back in 2000. Now, 22 years later, they got their revenge. And with Columbus, Michigan wins. 22 years later, Columbus, 45-23. As you know what, we're gonna show you what we can do in the second half, and they did it. They capitalized on big plays. Ohio State gave I think 5 40-plus big plays in that game, and they did deserve to lose this game. You know why? Because when you get a lot of big plays, like multiple, you deserve to lose this game, especially with the lead to scores. Like when you have 5 big plays on you against your defense, like they're gonna attack, keep using those plays against you, and they're gonna beat you every single time with it. And now with this loss, Ohio State drop out the top 4, and that's not how they want to end things. They will not play in the Big Ten Championship. Michigan will. And Ohio State has a hope for the best, but I don't think they will make it to the top 4. And want to be able to play the college playoffs as well. That's a huge suffer loss for Ohio State. And let's talk about the stats. All right, let's go look at Michigan. Remember, Michigan was missing out a couple of the key players. JJ McCarthy, 12 of 24, 263 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and that's how they got big plays. The running game. Donovan Edwards, 216 yards, 22 carries, 9.8, 2 touchdowns. Same thing. Big plays. JJ McCarthy got a touchdown as well. The receiving, Cornelius Johnson, 2 touchdowns. Carson Loveland, not a big play, 1 reception, 45 yards, and a touchdown. And look at, go back to Cornelius Johnson. Sorry if I mispronounced the name. 4 receptions, 160 yards, 40 yards per reception on average, and 2 touchdowns. And yeah, Michigan did deserve to win this game against Ohio State. As Ohio State, CJ Stroud, 31 for 48, 349 yards, 2 touches, 2 receptions. This quarterback did his very best trying to make sure he hit this team to stay in this game, but was not enough. The running game couldn't get going. Could use big plays as they fall to Michigan 45 to 23. Michigan jumped, I believe, 2 spots, while Ohio State dropped 3 spots. Well, no, Michigan gained 1 spot. Ohio State dropped 3 spots. Out the top 4, Michigan will play Purdue in a big title game, and that's going to be very exciting. Wow, a lot of exciting news this past week in college football. A lot of upsets. A lot of teams are jumping the top 4. A lot of teams, the changes are making it to push their way into the top 4. We'll see who will have these title games that's coming up. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. And who's gonna? What do you think? Thoughts on who's gonna make the top 4 and who's gonna win these title games? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Deuces.